Friends, we come to you this week at the Church of the Find Your People, full of trying to survive life. And I know Mandee's gonna fill us all in, but welcome to Find Your Friends. We are so glad that we found each other, and we are so glad that you have found us here online and that you think we're funny. Apparently, I mean, I think I'm hilarious.
We're so fun.
We are so fun. So, this week might be a little unhinged. I am not at home, and I have two dogs, one of which is a schnauzer, and Rocky, is a yappy boy. And Bowie knows no personal space. So there's no telling what's going to end up on my mic. Also, my friend that I'm house sitting for, she is coming with her middle child, and he is not going to want to do this, but she might pop in as well. So the more the merrier.
Janae is currently standing at her water bowl requesting more water because she is still on steroids. God love her.
And she probably is drinking 1.5 gallons a minute.
Absolutely. She's just gonna have to wait a minute.
I love that. Well, since I'm doing the find your favorites thing, I'll go ahead and start with my list, and then we'll move on to yours. I mean, it was so unhinged before this that we didn't even really have a chance to talk.
Listen, I don't even have a note on our Google spreadsheet, y'all.
Yeah, but here's what I know. There are things to discuss. I know this deep down in my soul. Okay, so first of all, I want to apologize for myself, because last week I don't always go back and re-listen to them, but I went back and re-listened to last week's because it was a lot of fun. And I said Canadian Club about 5,000 times, and it is clearly Canadian is the brand. And I was yelling at my laptop as I was listening back to the thing. So I apologize. I just want to clear that up. The brand of drink that I'm talking about that Mandee so eloquently talked about and put on our Find Your People Instagram page, which, by the way, if you're not following us, you should, because we put some fun pictures up there. That's clearly Canadian. It is clearly Canadian. It is not Canadian Club, which, by the way, is a whole nother. I have a bottle of that at my house that I will never open. Right? It's my grandmother's, and that she had hidden in the back of her cabinet, which is a whole nother podcast topic that we can get to one day. So I want to clear that up first. The brand is called Clearly Canadian. It is the drink of the 90s. So what I encourage all of you to do is go get your juicy on the butt shorts and then grab you a Clearly Canadian and time travel, because that will be fun.
Listen, I bought some, and it has made it to my little bar cart because it's a special beverage. And my bar cart, speaking of grandmothers, is my grandmother's old console record player, and she would not be real happy that there's alcohol in her record player, but that's all right.
And I need a bar cart. Yes, the preacher needs a bar cart.
I'll send you a picture.
Well, I toy with, I'm going to be moving a lot as an itinerant minister, so I don't want another thing to move. But like
on wheels, it's real easy.
Yeah, I need that. And I have an infinity bottle, and we should do a whole thing on that too. And it's in my grandmother's decanter, and she wouldn't care. She would.
I feel like we're going to need pictures and the whole nine.
Yeah, we'll do that. Well, that'll be an episode topic right there, an infinity bottle. So the other thing that I was super proud, because we are very influential, ma'am. We are extremely influential, is that I complained last week about the graphics on Fox Sports looking like a 3-year-old had done them. And I said, Mandee, you got to I don't care if you watch 2 seconds of the game, you got to go watch the game. Well, of course, first of all, I'm very powerful. They listened. They were not nearly as bad this week, but the font is too busy. It's like a layered font, and there's dots that move that made me think I was having a stroke. And I was like, no, they're just moving. They're not moving in my mind. They're moving on the screen. It's very distracting. So Fox Sports, you're halfway there, buddy. You're halfway there. But I did not realize that we had that much pull in the world. But we did. Pull. Like we have that much power to change the graphics at Fox Sports. But however, We do. So there we go. The other sporty thing that I want to talk about, college game day. Week 1 was Oreos on the face, which is just tragic. Week 2, this poor little girl acted like she was having a big time, but they went to a restaurant. They went to the Yellowhammer in Tuscaloosa. Sorry.
Yes,
all the Alabama fans out there, but it's Tuscaloosa to me.
sorry, Birch.
And sorry. I mean, I love you, just not the anyway.
She's okay.
The poor girl got a BLT like with 18 strips of bacon on it for their 18.
They have a strip of bacon for all their national championships.
Blah blah blah. But then she like manhandled the thing and ended up with mayonnaise all over her face and wouldn't wipe it off. I was like, "What are you doing?"
No,
she didn't wipe it off.
no.
They offered her napkins.
I'm a little iffy about mayonnaise in general, but I sure don't need it sitting on your face and you not wiping it off.
No.
It's unacceptable.
So Oreo, this poor same girl did the Oreo segment, and now she's doing the BLT with the mayo on her face.
Why are we having the women do all the silly food things?
I don't
Can
know.
we move out of the 1950s college game day?
And why did we fire David
Pollock? Corso.
Right. Why did we fire David Pollock to do this? Speaking of Lee Corso, it was Old Man's Row up at the game day pickers. But Joe Namath, look, they are both national treasures. Joe Namath has more of his faculties than Lee Corso does. God love him.
Yes.
But did you see the picture of them behind the desk embracing as friends? And Joe Namath had on shorts and socks up to his knees.
I did not.
You could see about 3 inches of skin. And he's real. I mean, he looks so frail. He has lost so much muscle mass. It's just so here's this little stooped, pitiful little shrunken version of Big Joe Namath with shorts on.
Go Willie.
I'll find the picture and put it on our Instagram page. It was just so sad. It was they're trotting out the old people. It's just
now. Do we
sad.
need just a question?
Yeah.
Do we need to rethink our framing of this? And instead of being sad,
okay,
that people are old, are we being ageist?
I just think there's a level of appropriateness, and I'm not sure who looked at Big Joe Namath and said, "Yep, those shorts are great, buddy." Like, I feel like there's a level of protection that we have to give our old people, right? And he's not getting it. He's not getting it. Somebody let him.
What do you do if you don't have daughters? Because, like, I'll tell my dad in a hot minute.
Right.
Why my dad once, like when COVID first started and we were FaceTiming all the time, my dad got on a FaceTime with me and he had on a t-shirt which he had made into a V-neck himself. We had to have a very, very, very stern conversation that's not something we do there, Butch. Let's not V-neck our t-shirts.
Well, and
so if you don't have somebody in your life who's willing to have this
to help you, it's not that I don't think he's not valuable anymore. I think both of them have great value. It's that somebody needs to tell them and not let them make fools of themselves.
Put on some ankle socks.
It was something. I can't wait. I figured you had seen it. I can't wait to send it.
I have not seen the picture of the shorts.
I held back and waited till this conversation.
Yeah.
So, here's the other thing I learned last week on our podcast is that when Mandee tells you to do something, by golly, you do it. And so, I roasted the slow roasted tomatoes, which, by the way, if you missed that part, she put all kinds of good stuff and suggestions on our Instagram page, and the show notes have the directions that I copied and pasted. I did not unmandify it. They're the best. So go look there on last week's episode for the slow roasted tomatoes, and I roasted them. They're in the fridge waiting for me to come home. I cannot wait to use them. However, it says in there you can use like basil and whatever spices that you like, dried spices. So I did. I got all my I lined them up, and I did I think basil and oregano. I think I put a little thyme on there too. But 2 of my spices don't have the little plastic guard on it with the holes. And just like I like a heavy pour. I did.
Spicy tomatoes.
Was a little heavy. So we'll see. I'm sure they're delicious.
Right.
It doesn't matter. Yep. And
That's
I
right.
threw some unpeeled garlic cloves on there. I just threw it all in there. It's all in the jar too. So you don't even have to take the garlic out. Just put it all in there. So I'm very excited to try it. I will keep you posted. But
Please
mine
do.
looks very different than yours because I was very heavy-handed with this.
You can't mess it up. It'll be fine.
Like,
It'll be
really?
great.
That's like
And I
3
need you to
tablespoons.
spread the gospel if you do what Mandee tells you.
I do. Every
get that
time.
word out far and wide.
Well, you
It'll
know,
be
the
great.
other thing I did all week was record True South, and I've been watching the episodes as they come on, and I'm just in love. And we
Right.
are 100% going on the road. If you could see right now, Jenny is like French kissing the camera and Mandee all at the same time, and it's amazing. I'm real surprised Bo Bear is not up here, but he's not.
Now we're gonna hold hands.
I know. See, yeah, oh yeah. I got a picture last night of Bowie holding Rocky's hand, and it's so cute.
Oh,
most of the time they're after each other, but it was cute for a minute.
Very sweet.
So Sunday after the service, I went to the grocery store as I always do to get my food for the week. And I was coming back, and it was the Lord's Day, so I tried not to be judgmental, Mandee. I tried so hard not to be judgmental.
And
I'm going to do a very
coming in here.
Look, I'm going to do a very boomer thing right now. I'm going to pull this picture up and show it to you on the screen because I want to see your reaction to it.
Okay, I'm ready.
I don't do car stickers. I've never done car stickers. I was in politics. I didn't do car stickers. I just don't do car stickers.
Big commitment.
Yeah, it's a big commitment, and I like a nice, clean look on my car. However, this young lass decided that she either loves her Civic or wants to love somebody very badly. And so this was her love car sticker. It's backwards, but can you see right?
Mercy.
Right. So I'm going to post this picture. It doesn't have her lovely license plate number. I zoomed in so you couldn't see it. The L is a high heel shoe. The O is a heart. The V is 2 guns pointed away from each other, pistols in the shape of a V and then an E. So what is your thought on a car sticker, ma'am, especially one like that?
Well, like I said, it's a big commitment. I've also not had a car sticker. I think I did have a Saxby, when he had those Gigantor,
right,
the first time he ran. It took up half your bumper.
Yes,
I did have one of those. But other than that, I don't even think I ever put like a Coverdale sticker when I worked for Coverdale.
Yeah. Good old Paul.
Never had a Mercer sticker. I probably had a little FIMU sticker.
I believe I had a FIMU above my Sanford
brake light.
No, above my Sanford parking sticker, so it could be all in one little spot, and it didn't
Remember the ones that used to go like above your brake light?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Your brakes, it would
Maybe I did have that one. I don't know. It's been so long. I'm old. Yeah.
But that's since I've not committed to anything since then, and I had a conversation this week. I've been working on cleaning out an estate house that I'm the personal representative for. It's been a journey, y'all.
Yeah.
But I was in the car with one of the guys that's been helping me load up 3 dumpsters worth of stuff. And a guy pulled out in front of us, just covered up in political stickers and flags. And I mean, you gotta feel real strongly about something to really dress your car up quite like that. And I guess love is a good thing to feel strongly about.
Well, the way it reads, because of where she placed it, it says civic love, which
Well,
I
okay.
agree with. I love the world in general being
And
civil and
we
civic.
should, yeah, and we should all be,
Don't
y'all
think
should
that's
see
what
our
she was.
hands right now. Katie and I are both talking with our hands.
I don't think that's what she was going for, though. I believe that she wants to find love with pistols, is what I believe, in high heels. And
Which, you know,
I mean, shoot your
huh,
shot.
shoot your shot, sister.
Just not for me.
Preferably, you know, at a target practice facility and not out in the world. That'd be great.
What the heck?
That'd be great.
I pulled up behind. I was like, it is Sunday. It is the Lord's Day. And here I am confronted with this.
Uh,
I almost
Yeah.
got out and talked to her about it, but I decided not to because I didn't
You
have
had
a
already
collar
preached your
on. I
sermon.
didn't have my robe on.
You had already preached your
Yeah.
sermon.
I had. So I let her go. Good news is she apparently lives near me. So maybe I'll see her again. That'll
Listen,
be
I
great.
feel like maybe this is your mission.
Look. Conversion. You're gonna hear, I don't know if you could hear that my phone's going off because the people are cutting the grass at the parsonage and they go back and forth in front of my Ring camera.
Oh, okay. No, I can't. I can't.
Lovely, lovely. Okay, so here's the other thing, and you can't really see it because I have this. So the show note, first of all, the show note, because I didn't want to like give too much away. It says to bang or not to bang. That is the question. Now, Mandee has bangs, and I've never really had bangs. You just went to the salon, like I just went to my salon.
Yes,
And
just
she cut
yesterday.
curtain bangs, which I don't know. Can you? I mean, they're longer, obviously, but
Yeah,
they're
they look good.
definitely different lengths than the rest of my hair.
Yeah,
And I've
cute.
never really had bangs, but I kind of like them.
I have never not had bangs. And as you can see currently, Katie, living
Mhm.
in Florida, and my hair got
Mhm.
curly. And
Mhm.
so I'm often the little girl with the curl in the middle of her forehead.
I love that.
And I think my hairdresser Morgan would actually like for me to grow my bangs out. And yesterday, as a matter of fact, the woman who built the house that I'm currently cleaning out, or
Yeah.
the woman who originally built this house,
Yeah.
happened to be sitting next to me at the hairdresser. And so
Mhm.
I think Morgan took advantage of my distraction of talking to Kitty about this house because she did not
She
trim
did
my
not
bangs
cut your
quite like I
hair.
usually like it.
Yes.
But I decided to go with it and just see that like these are actually longer than I would normally have having just had my hair cut.
Which
The
is
challenge
interesting.
is the
Yeah.
humidity curl.
And I 100% get that. The challenge, see, they just beeped again. Back and forth and back
You're
and
good.
forth. Okay. So the challenge for me is that I've never really had curly hair. I've had thick, straight, thin, blonde hair my whole life that, used to turn blonde in the summer. Like I would get these beautiful blonde streaks every summer. And then I got old and it quit doing that, but then it started curling. To the point where my friend, who I've literally known, my birthday is 4 days before hers. And so I've known her my whole life. And she looked at me a couple years ago and she said, Katie, for the love of God, tell me you did not get a perm. And I said, I did not get a perm. That's natural ringlets. There are curls in my hair now, all of a sudden, hormones, I guess. And so I'm learning to love my curls. I'm learning to care for my curls, which I did not know was such a thing. It is a journey. I have a lot of product that I never had to have before.
Right.
But one thing that this section never curled, the front section.
She's indicating the top front of her head, friends.
The top front of my head, it never curled. It's always had a tiara on it. It never curled. Until I cut these curtain bangs, and now I guess taking the weight off of it has helped them match the wave of the rest of my hair.
Well, I would like to see it without your headphones on sometime.
Let's do this. Up.
Okay.
See?
Oh, it's cute. I like it.
Yeah. And I've had a headset on for an hour or so now. So yeah, for class. Yeah.
It's cute.
So yeah, to bang or not to bang.
She
That
bangs, she
is the
bangs. Now
question.
listen,
I'm banging.
sometimes my bangs, I'll have to share some pictures because I have no shame. But yeah, one of my favorite things to do is take pictures of my crazy bangs.
Uh-huh.
Set
Oh,
to
please.
bang, she bangs. It's quite entertaining.
And I will share my young Katie picture with straight as a stick hair. I mean,
Yeah,
Catherine really legitimately looked at me and was concerned that I had gotten a
yeah,
perm.
that's funny.
No,
Like, I mean, I always had thick, wavy hair.
never.
But yeah, when I moved to Florida, it got curly.
Yeah.
And it's a journey to figure. I mean, it's a whole new, like, you
Yeah.
don't wash it as much. You don't like, I found a woman on Instagram who, yeah, you can get real involved, like the curly girl method.
Mm-hmm.
Like, are you a level 4? Like, I mean, you can dive real deep into this.
Oof.
And I
Yeah.
liked this woman because she's like, we don't need all that.
Yeah.
But she basically suggests that you know, like wash your hair maybe twice, maybe 3 times a week, but you condition it every day and you don't wash the conditioner out really.
I have a leave-in conditioner. Yes. So on top of my regular shampoo and conditioner, which I use a thickening shampoo and conditioner, which helps with that thin stuff that I used to have. I had used that for a long time. So that helps. But then I do a leave-in conditioner. I do a curl cream, which sounds gross. And I do a serum. It's a process.
Okay, well, I'm gonna send you this woman's Instagram because
Please.
her method is very simple. It's you basically just don't wash your conditioner out and you don't dry your hair.
Yeah,
Like, you
don't
don't
dry your hair.
squeeze it. You leave all that water in there.
Yep.
And then she likes, I can't remember exactly what the gel is, but she likes a certain type of gel and you put that on and that's it. Like, you
Yep.
don't have to do all this other stuff.
Yeah.
So I'll send it to you.
Yeah,
can try-
leaving it
try
wet
everything.
is key.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it takes like 25 hours to dry, which
I mean, listen,
it's a
I was all
thing.
mad because I went to the salon yesterday and Morgan always blows it out for me. And you know, then I can not have to fool with it for, 3
Yeah.
days. And I'm going to Cleveland, the big city of Cleveland this weekend for a regatta. So I thought, oh, good, I'm gonna have a blowout. But I've been cleaning out that house and it's all sweaty and yeah.
Bougie, talking about
Listen,
blowouts and regattas.
a blowout at the regatta. Yeah.
Let me tell you, if you don't send a picture of the porta potties at the regatta, I'm gonna be real upset.
Yeah. It's not as nearly as bougie as it sounds.
I know. Well, I can't wait to see it though. All right, so that's my list. That's my list. Look at me. It's not my favorites. My favorites are coming, but I can't wait to hear I kind of know what you've been doing, and I hope that you'll expound on a few things. So here we go. Tell me about your world.
My world has been one thing for the past 2 weeks. And it's an interesting situation because it's not my typical I'm not the lawyer in this. So there's no attorney-client privilege, so I have been able to talk about this more than I would if I were the lawyer.
Sure.
But I'm actually the personal representative for this estate. So this very nice woman passed away. And she had named a good friend of hers to be the co-personal representative with an attorney in Panama City. But the friend lives in Colorado, and in Florida, if you're not a family member and you live out of state, you can't serve in that capacity. So they hired me to come in and be the personal representative, and I had to come in and do that because the attorney over in Panama City was not doing his job. So we had to have him removed and have me appointed. So what that has meant is that in the year that has passed, the woman who passed away, her ex-husband has been living in her house with a bunch of people that he moved in, doing nefarious things and really just sort of trashing the property.
Thankfully, as one does when you are being nefarious.
Thankfully, not as bad structurally as we have been concerned, but just we have so far removed 2 dumpsters worth of literal trash out of the house. 2 30-yard dumpsters of trash out of this house. And it's a beautiful house. It's on the bay. I mean, it's just heartbreaking. So, that's what I've been doing and dealing with every day. One or another of those people shows up at the house wanting in.
Of course they do. They got to
we
take
had
away
to
the
leave a bunch-
evidence.
Yeah, we had to leave a bunch of stuff. Like the dumpster was full. And so but we kept packing stuff up and just left it like sitting out. And they came over the weekend and went, like you could tell they went through all that. Yesterday, we noticed there's like this courtyard and there's a balcony. And we noticed that I was upstairs doing something and I looked, somebody had tied, y'all, it wasn't a rope, it wasn't a strap, it was about the width of a shoelace, but it was really long.
Mm-hmm.
And they had tied that to that balcony. I guess they were trying to shimmy up there and see if they could get in the balcony door. I just can't even. But so I've got these two guys who live, went through a like labor service fire. So we've got two great guys who have been helping me, who, thank goodness you can find good people in the world to.
Oh yeah.
Like I looked at them yesterday because I had to go get my hair cut. Because I already moved my hair appointment once, I couldn't move it again. So I had to be there. And the friend who couldn't serve is in town for a couple of weeks, but she was not there yet. So I had to leave the keys with the guys. And I was like, y'all, now listen, I'm leaving these keys with y'all and I'm trusting you not to run off and ruin my life and take my bar license, because if y'all do that, then you're gonna mess up my mama, because I pay all my mama's bills too for her. So listen, you're gonna ruin her life and my life if you take off. You can't be doing that.
Can't do that.
They didn't, and they did fine, and I bought them a barbecue lunch.
Oh, that's great.
It was all good. But yeah, so that I've just been running crazy doing that.
So is that kind of my legal question for you today is that kind of like a executor or an executrix?
Yes, in Georgia it is called an executor, and so in Georgia, if you have a will, it's called an executor or an executrix. If you don't have a will and somebody's serving in that capacity, they're called an administrator. Okay. In Florida, either way, they're called a personal representative.
Interesting. My grandmother years ago, one of her neighbors that didn't have family that was trustworthy appointed her as the executrix of her will and didn't tell her. So when and Gogi, this is down a rabbit hole a little bit, but Gogi ended every word that ended with a and an ER. So visa bill, when she got her visa bill, it was a visa bill. A spatula was a spatula. So this lady's name was Reva Ann Dame. So if I heard Reaver Ann one time, I heard Reaver Ann 5,000 times. And she had a nice estate and she did some very nice things with it. But Gogi, who was a very good businesswoman, ended up doing all of that without. Like they came a knocking and Gogi was like, "What do you mean? I'm the executrix." And the attorney was like, "Sorry."
And you don't, I mean, you can, say, I don't want to do it.
And she could have said, I don't want
if
to.
Somebody, if your friend has named you that.
Yeah. Friend and neighbor, they had lived around the corner from each other since Gug was like 19 or 16 or something like that, since they were teenagers. So, if my friend did that to me, I would be like, tell me first, but I would do it. 100%. Yeah.
So it is an honor. And it's, you take, in my situation, I didn't know Jan. And so it's different for me. And because those squatters have been in there for so long that there was like a top level of grime that we had to, just get rid of. And so now we're sort of she also had, in addition to 2 houses, there are 3 storage units. And so at least the storage units feel a little bit more like Jan. She was an interior designer. And so she had all kinds of really cool furniture and mirrors and fabric samples.
Are you going to get anything fun?
I mean, I'm not. Okay. But, that's why, and I'm glad Wendy's, her friend's here to, go through this stuff and be able to, because, that's what Jen would want, is for the people she
Mhm.
loved to have the things she loved.
Yeah.
And so, I'm glad that that's happening, but it's also a
Not her
little
crazy
heartbreaking
ex.
that, the rest of it is like it is. So
Yeah.
I try to approach it with, that I don't have an attorney-client responsibility, but I do have a responsibility to,
Yeah.
be give her the dignity that she deserved that has been lacking in the past
Yeah.
year and a half since she died,
Yeah.
which is infuriating. But
Yeah. Oh yeah.
so yeah, that's just been sort of me full time when I haven't been going to the doctor to get all the steroids so
All
that
the
Jenny and I
roids.
can both be on the steroids at the
Roid
same.
rage at the
Woo!
Caldwell Manor.
Yes, so it's been
Oh,
fun.
oh, oh.
But
They came in,
I,
I think, because
oh
you hear
boy,
Rocky going to town.
I don't. I
Maybe
don't know what you're
not. Maybe they just opened the garage door. Anyway.
But this has not kept me from my baseball,
Oh,
y'all.
good, good, good.
I
Who
have
are
a
we
baseball
talking
player
about?
of the week.
Tell me.
So we are talking about one Pete Crow Armstrong.
Okay. I've never heard that name, so I'm excited to know him.
Pete Crow Armstrong was called up by the Chicago Cubs 2 days ago. Pete has been, if you're in the know, you call him PCA. Okay. And he's
Okay.
been their
Okay.
number one prospect. Everybody's been so excited about PCA. So the Cubs won the World Series in 2016, breaking the curse. Like I don't even know all the details, but we all know the Cubs had like never won a World Series or hadn't in a very long time. And anyway, they won it in 2016. And then within several years of that, they traded away everybody that was part of that team. And it broke all the Cubs fans' hearts. And sort of the last guy to go was Javi Baez, and he was traded for Pete Crow Armstrong. So it's always been sort of he was a great prospect and everybody was excited for him, but also he was like the end of that 2016 Cubs era. But he got called up and came in as a pinch runner night before last, playing in Colorado.
I love it.
He's got curly red hair. His mother
Dumb.
is an actress and was actually the mother in one of the baseball movies, like Major Little League or something. I'll look it up. I can't remember. But so now her son is actually a major leaguer.
That's the sweetest thing.
But yeah, so got called in. Are they here? I can't hear. They got called in as a pinch runner and tried to steal and got thrown out. Hey, hey! I bet we're not gonna be able to hear anything because you got your headphones on.
Maybe, but the microphone's right here. I'm surprised it's not picking it.
I'm
Come here,
not
Bowie.
hearing
Bowie,
anything.
come say hey. Anyway, keep going.
Okay. And so then last night he actually started, and he's the big exciting thing about him is his defense in center field. And to say he made 2 incredible catches last night is an understatement. He made 2 of the best catches you have ever seen in your life, and I'll share them on our Instagram page. And then he got a hit, drove in a run. Like it was a great first game. So Pete Crow Armstrong is my baseball player.
I love that. Well,
and it looks like the Cubbies are actually going to make it to the playoffs. Knock on wood.
Great.
So y'all be on the lookout for one young Pete Crow Armstrong.
Oh, I'm so excited. I'm excited to find out who his mama is. I can't wait to make that connection. Yeah.
I'm gonna look right now while we're talking about it. Ashley Crow.
Oh, I love that. Here they come in the door. Hey, James. James is the middle boy and doesn't care about me at all. Do you, James? He's like, whatever. He's just walking.
Guess where Pete Crow Armstrong's mama went to school?
Where? Sanford?
Auburn University.
Auburn.
Now you like him even more, don't you?
To go with Octavia Spencer, who's also my favorite Auburn actress ever. Love
Little
that.
Big League. Little Big League.
Okay. So we'll definitely put a picture up on the Instagram of all that. Christina.
We have our first guest.
We do. Well, we have. Come here. Come here. Come here.
You got to do it. Come on.
Here's Christine. She was just telling her baseball story. You're gonna love it. So I'm telling you, Henry, their son, who I had control of yesterday, which, I don't know why they left me in control of their children, but they did. And I got him to school and everything.
I'm very proud of you.
Look, I managed carpool line. It was great.
Listen, car lines really terrify me.
Right. So he is probably he and his brother James, who's coming down the stairs, he's grown like 1.5 feet. Come here, James. Come get on the thing.
Hey, James.
Look, he's a swimmer. You love a swimmer.
I love a swimmer. Hey,
Sweet
James.
boy.
Wow.
I missed you last night.
What are your events, James? What do you swim?
What do you swim, James? What are your events?
Like anything up to 100, I swim.
Anything up to 100. He's a sprinter. Sprinter.
That's what my sister is.
They're all very athletic. Bob, the husband, Bob with 2 O's, swam in high school. We call him Bob with 2 O's. Boob, Bob. Christine was a really good athlete and swim. She's still real. You could see she's beautiful and skinny and whatever.
Really.
Every one of the kids swims. Yeah. One of those. And then, but Henry is very just naturally talented. And we talked about it last night. And he said that we looked it up and he can probably make it to LA to swim. So we will have somebody to go watch is what I'm.
I remember when my
saying.
sister's Olympics were the Seoul Olympics, and she did make it to the Olympic trials.
Love it. See?
Or maybe it was I take it back. It was Barcelona.
Barcelona. Yeah, I love that. I love it. So they're home. Yay! I'm so excited they're home. Christine and I will get to spend a little time this afternoon together.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
All right. So you want to.
Favorites time, girl.
It's favorites. Look,
Lay 'em on.
I went a little crazy with these. I deleted and brought back a couple of them. The first one is maybe slightly controversial. The first two may be slightly controversial, frankly.
Well,
I don't care. So our friend, my friend, I love Jimmy Fallon, got in a little trouble this week. However, I mean, we're all human and have bad days, and I really hope that that's all that was, and he's apologized and we can move on. So the reason that I'm so excited about Jimmy Fallon is because Strike Force 5 podcast. Have you listened to that yet?
I saw it on the notes, and so today, as I was driving back and forth between the U-Haul place and the dumpster place, I put it on and was listening. I did not finish the first episode, but I was listening to it. Yes,
I laugh more out loud. Like, some things are just funny, but some things like I laughed out loud on every episode they've put out so far.
And it is a great thing to do.
I know, right? The 5 major network late night talk show hosts, that's a mouthful, have come together to do this podcast while the writers are on strike to raise money to pay their staffs. There we go. And not just, I was thinking writers, but it's more than that. They did that for staff. So Ryan Reynolds, who is just, I love Blake and Ryan. Ryan is one of the sponsors with Mint Mobile. So they've gotten some sponsorships that are helping pay their staff. Casamigo, yum, love a tequila, bullet bourbon, here for it. But anyway, I laugh so much. I mean, like out loud laugh. They talk about their own lives. They talk about what it's like to be a talk show host, a late night talk show host. What really is, because you may remember the days when those late night guys were really in competition together because they were all at the same time and there was only so many people that could, you couldn't watch multiple during the week or record it. None of that was available.
And I read a book one time. I can't remember. It was like can't remember if it was the Lynn, and there was actually a documentary, or maybe not. It wasn't a documentary. It was like a movie, I guess, about the whole Leno.
Yes.
The whole
Leno Letterman thing. Yeah, like there was an actual they hated each other.
They talked about that a little bit on that first episode.
Yeah, but these guys are all friends, and I don't know if you follow any of them, especially Kimmel and Fallon on Instagram, because Fallon went up to Kimmel's like vacation house up in the Northeast this summer with a bunch of famous people. There's a big picture of them
Dax,
around a
Yeah,
table.
Dax goes every summer.
Yep.
So I've
Yep.
got it on armchair expert type.
Yes. So all of those, they're friends, and I love that. And and their banter is hilarious. And I love banter. It's after sarcasm is the thing I speak the best. It's the language I speak the best is banter. So
And I love
I love
Stephen
it.
Colbert
Oh.
and John Oliver.
Yes.
But like, are you kidding me? They're all great.
So cute. So Stephen Colbert, being from South Carolina, does all the Southern stuff that we love. So it's just a great show all the way around. I very much hope that they at least do it every summer, maybe, even if they all get back on the air or whatever. But it's Seth Meyers, Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel, Stephen Colbert, and John Oliver. And they are hilarious. So I highly recommend it. It's good to listen to in the car. Because as you know, I spent a lot of windshield time getting into Atlanta. So, or Atlanta, as Gogi would say. So I highly recommend Strike Force 5 when you need something to laugh about. Okay, so the other thing that I thought you were going to steal from me last week, but you did not. But I think I have a different angle on it because it's a little on the nose for us. Zach Bryan, who also got in a little trouble, but I highly recommend that you go and listen to his explanation and apology, because I really think he's growing and
Which
learning.
is what we want for people.
Of course. And I think he's very sincere and genuine about it. Anyway, Zach Bryan starts his album with a poem, and I am here for it. And then it comes back up in track 6 as a song. And I love that because I love poetry. I love the visual arts. I love anything like that. I like writing. I love all that. So it really and the poem, the content of it is, even though he's a lot younger than I am and a boy, it's very much my life if you listen to the words. And so I really connected with that. And I thought, well, what other albums have poems on them? Well, you can't,
I love this.
You can't Google poems on albums, because then you just get a bunch of poetry albums, which is not what I was talking about.
Right.
However, I did find that several artists that you and I love, that their songs have been inspired by poetry. And for instance, Joni Mitchell, her song "If" is based on a poem by Kipling.
The poem, I did not know the song.
Right. Here's one I didn't know. I love this band. I have listened to this band. My dad and I put his vinyl version of this album on and listened to it when I was a very little girl. He started my love of Americana and Southern rock. Derek and the Dominoes.
Okay, not familiar.
Oh, wait. Okay, ma'am. It's Eric Clapton and the Allman Brothers. Oh. They sang Layla originally.
Did not know. You would think, here's the funny thing, you would think growing up with the father who was a music director.
Yeah, but that's not the kind of music.
Music was work. No, music was work.
Oh, okay.
We didn't listen to a lot of music in the house.
So Dad used to sports. Which I love too, but Dad used to bring his vinyl records into my room. We'd sit on the floor and listen to it. And Derek and the Dominoes was Eric Clapton and the Allman Brothers. And they put one album out. That was it. And it has Layla on it. The original version of Layla is not Eric Clapton. It's Derek and the Dominoes. So go listen to it. You will love the album. You will love this version. It is inspired by a poem called Layla and Majnun, by a poet named Nizami. So I thought that was great.
Very cool.
I am so thankful that I could teach you something this week. Can't believe it. I know, right? Tom Waits' Nirvana is based on a poem. David Bowie, the man who sold the world, the lyrics are directly from a poem called The Psycho Ed, which David Bowie's a little psycho, frankly. So that kind of tracks, which I love.
I like it.
Okay, let me see if I can do this. Bowie is having a ball. There's Bowie. Bo Bear's living his best life.
He is. He's scratching his little face
Yeah.
on his bed.
Yep. So artists of the world that can sing, not me. I cannot sing. Add a poem of some sort or spoken word or something on your album and show us where the song's inspiration came from, because I thought that was really just magical. And of course I'm a lot, and so I sent it to like all kinds of people. I was like, oh my gosh, you're gonna love this, and they're like, okay. But I love that.
I did too. I liked it too.
I love it. I love it. So Derek, but okay, challenge on Derek and the Dominoes.
Here's what I'm gonna. I
Derek
may
and the
just go
Dominoes.
to the. Well, I won't because I'm going to Cleveland. But next time I'm in Seaside, which is never, because now we have to pay to park and it pisses me off. But
Oh,
I'm gonna go to the Central Square Records and see if I can find that old vinyl of it.
telling you, Derek and the Dominoes is the best. And it's all people that you would know, the musicians, because they're all in other bands.
Okay, I'm on it. I'm on it.
Okay, so Sunday, two things happened. I mentioned it on here.
You saw the sticker.
Yeah, so well, three things happened then.
Okay.
Two things happened at the church house. So and most of we've mentioned it on here. I'm a minister in the United Methodist Church. I serve a small church with an older population that I love. I just love them. They're so sweet and kind. Most of the time, just kidding. Like everybody, every church has problems, but they are wonderful people, and they feed my spirit and they feed my body too. So that's always nice. But they also keep me humble. So I had on this, what I think is a really cute mustard color. It's not yellow, it's mustard color dress under my robe. And it's thin because it's really hot in that robe, but it's got like a little sequin embellishment on the shoulder. Super cute. I mean, it wasn't expensive. It was like a sheen dress, but it's great. Perfect for Sunday because it goes under the robe well.
How you say that, Sheen?
Sheen, I guess.
Always wondered.
I don't know. I'm Southern, so that's how I say it. So I take the robe off because it's stifling hot after the service. And one of the old ladies looks at me. Fortunately, the younger people, that they're very few and far between, but they are there, didn't hear it, or they would have given me absolute hell for it. She looked at me, she said, oh, next time you wear that, you let me know and I'll wear my big bird dress too.
Hey.
I said, oh, I didn't really think it made me look like Big Bird. Oh, no, I didn't mean it like that. Well, yeah, that's exactly what you said.
Ma'am, did you lose your filter?
They don't have them. They lost
Pardon
it
me.
decades ago. Big Bird. I'll wear my yellow dress and we'll be Big Birds together. I was like, oh my gosh. Okay, well, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that dress, but it might not be wear it again. But it's not like Big Bird yellow. I didn't think I looked like Big Bird at all. I think it's cute. Oh, so one of my favorite things is people that keep me humble. And I need that. I get that I need that as a minister, and you can go listen to my other podcast. I verbally vomit about it. But you can, when you have this platform, you can get a big head. And I've seen it 1,000 times, mostly in men. Mostly in men, preachers, but whatever. So you need people in your life that keep you humble. Christine, who my friend I'm staying here, she never listens. She don't listen to my sermons. She doesn't care. She keeps me humble. Her kids are like, whatever, you're weird. So you need people like that. And apparently I have a congregation full of them. Big Bird. We could be Big Bird together. Wow. Okay. Also, another level of keep me humble, it was Grandparents' Day on Sunday, and I hope that your all those grandparents out there in the world felt loved. At my church, which I think is a precious tradition, we hand out either you can get an RC Cola and a moon pie, or you can get a Coke and peanuts. And after the service,
every Sunday, or just
no, for Grandparents' Day, every year for Grandparents' Day.
And so move to Beaufort.
Right. So right. after
I joined
the
the church for the first time in my life. If I ever told you that, I've never actually joined church. Yeah, anyway, we'll have that
okay,
discussion.
we'll discuss that later. You can join my church. Okay, so you sing in the choir anyway. Okay, that's
I've gone to church religiously my whole
yes,
life.
I know.
Anyway,
Okay. All right. So, did you see my head explode
I
just a
did,
second ago? Okay.
I saw it.
So it has been like Southern tradition week for me because I watched all those True South, which I loved. I roasted slow roasted tomatoes, which I loved, and then I went to church. And by the way, was told that I did qualify as a grandparent.
You did?
Then I could get some. I can have my choice. I like to think it's because I'm the minister, not that I look
think
like
so.
a grandmother.
Yeah, no.
So I
Me
chose
Big
Coke and
Bird's
peanuts.
Big
Uh,
Bird's not a grandparent.
No.
So,
Well,
you know,
right. Okay. This is never going on air, but there you go. So talk about a bird.
birds are flying.
Anyway, we have gone off the rails. I chose Coke and peanuts. I love Coke and peanuts. I don't drink full fat Coke on a normal basis. And usually when I do, it's out somewhere special. I don't keep it at the house. So I don't normally drink a Coke with peanuts in it. But if you've never done it, you should
Bless
do it.
your heart.
Then bless your heart, first of all, then you're not cool like we are. But it is the perfect salty sweet. If you're a salty sweet person, I promise, just do it. I'm gonna post some pictures when I get home. I might enjoy a Coke and peanut tomorrow, and I will show you what happens and what you can do. It's just one of my favorites. So that is definitely a favorite thing. And if you've never Coke with a peanut in it, pour a whole little sleeve of them in there and enjoy.
Preferably, you should do it. You should drive out in the country somewhere
Oh yeah.
and stop at an old country grocery store
Yes.
and buy, and it has to be a glass bottled Coke.
Well, that's what I don't have, but it's what I have will do.
It does not count. I'm gonna need you to get some glass bottle.
Yeah.
Preferably the Mexican Coke, because that's the real
Coke
good
now.
stuff.
I love Mexican Coke.
My granddaddy was a Coca-Cola delivery man. My dad's dad.
I love that.
So when we would get to their house in Lucedale, Mississippi, home to one Justin Steele, previous baseball player of the week, we would immediately go out to the patio, and he had it was like working on Capitol Hill.
Mm-hmm.
We get Coke products.
Mm-hmm.
Every flavor possible
Yep.
was out on that patio. We could get us some great Fanta.
I love it. And I want to talk about this on one of the podcasts about Capitol Hill, but when the few times that I was up there when y'all were, I would always love to go trade some Coke for some Pennsylvania Hershey's chocolate.
Yeah.
You trade products. Anyway, so Coke and peanuts, I mean, if I have the gumption, I will go find a glass bottle Coke. But you're right. There is nothing, you cannot trade the taste of a glass bottle Coke or a fountain Coke, like the old jerk fountain Cokes. There's nothing like it. So if you are unfortunate and don't live in the South and don't have access to some of that stuff, you need to seek it out, try the glass bottle, put some peanuts in it, and tell us what you think.
Yep, for sure.
Yep. Okay, so the last thing is for my girlies out there, and maybe the fellas too. Look, we all have issues. I know I look like I am perfection, right? Like there's nothing. I have not a flaw.
No, not one. You're like a living Instagram filter.
Sure. Do you hear the sarcasm in my eyes? Because they just rolled. Could you hear the eye roll? One thing that I've always had problems with is my nails are very brittle and they peel very easily, and they have no girth to them. It's a terrible word to use.
There's no word, girth.
So I found, and I'm going to post it. I found you can buy it on Amazon, just some clear polish that's nail hardener, and it helps strengthen your nails, and it works Like some of those are a little sketch, but
Yeah.
this really has helped my nails. And so because hold on, I can look on my Amazon account. But it really is just, it has been so good. I've sent it to several of my friends. It's the brand is Launchpad Nail Strengthener, and I will Dermalect, and I will definitely put that in the notes, in the show notes. If you have problems with brittle nails, then get some of this stuff. It works.
Okay. That's good. Listen, it's good information.
Well, that's a really weird list of things.
Listen, we are multifaceted, varied human
Yes.
beings, and our favorites
Variety.
are going to reflect that.
Yeah.
I think they're great.
I think that what I love most about the favorite section is that we each kind of give each other some thoughts and ideas
Yeah.
about life in it.
Listen,
I
well,
cannot believe you've never heard of Derek and the Dominoes. Like, my mind blew.
I saw it. It blew a couple of times today, actually.
You were life changing, ma'am. Life changing. You even blew my mind before we started. But there are some things that cannot be put on here. So anyway. Oh, so
Patreon for those.
we look total unhinged. You have to pay money for that. So this coming week, okay, so here's what I do have a question for you, because I have been watching more baseball. I love it in person. Y'all know that. I love baseball in person, but it's much better now that they have a shorter game. So my question though is, did we clinch? Are we like and where are we in the process, and where do we need to pick up and be ready for this coming week?
Okay. The Braves are definitely in the playoffs.
Okay.
They need to win 2 more games to win the Eastern Division of the National League.
Okay.
Which may happen. They're currently in Philadelphia.
Okay.
Philadelphia's got a good team. Philadelphia will probably be one of the wild card teams. So the way the playoffs work is there are 3 divisions.
Yeah.
In each league. So you have the National League and the American League. Each league has 3 divisions: the Eastern, the Western, and the Central.
But there's room for 4 spots.
And then, well, no, actually, so there's the 3 winners of those divisions. Then there's also 3 wild card teams.
So that makes 6 for the total.
So 2 of the wild cards play each other.
Okay.
And then the 3rd wild card plays the division winner that has the lowest number of wins.
Okay.
So in the National League, what will happen is the Braves and the Dodgers will have a bye for the first round. And the winner of the Central Division, which right now the Milwaukee Brewers are, I think, 3 games ahead of the Cubs. So that would be the Brewers. So right now, I think if it happened today, right now in the National League, the Cubs would play the Phillies, the Brewers would play maybe the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. And then the winner of the Cubs and Phillies would play the Braves.
Okay.
And then everybody expects.
So we're just starting that process.
Yeah, we hadn't. Yeah, we're just getting here. We got a long way to go.
Okay. So we'll be on the lookout for those games.
Braves are definitely in the playoffs.
Go Braves.
And if they win 2 more games, they will win the Eastern Division of the National League.
Love it.
Which
so we'll be on the lookout for that this week.
Yeah.
This weekend we're still early in the season for football, so there's nothing like crazy. There are no really crazy games like there was this past week. I think game days at Colorado, shocker for Colorado State.
Prime time.
Georgia's playing South Carolina, so that's going to be. They have such an.
That's a big. It's an SEC game.
It is.
Georgia, South Carolina.
Have you seen South Carolina play this year?
Well, but you know,
there's no Cox to go.
New Mexico State.
Just saying, right? So Auburn. Here's where my dilemma is. It's not really a dilemma. I'm going to pull for Auburn. Auburn's playing Samford, which is my alma
mater. I saw it. It's homecoming, right?
Homecoming. So there we go. And next week there's no telling what we'll do because our weeks Oh,
just
do you
have
have something
I
already?
just have to throw this out here as we sign off. Because
Yeah.
I feel like the clock out. Have
Yes.
you found Pledge Talk?
No.
Specifically Auburn Pledge Talk.
No. All right. So I'll have
I'm
to do
gonna look
that.
up. You're
Okay.
gonna like-
I'll do that. We did not talk about, which we can next week because it's such a big thing that I think we should give her some airtime, is Coco Golf winning the tennis. That was great. So, and she's from Atlanta, which is anyway. So, we'll find all kinds of good stuff. So, and our lives are crazy. So there's no telling what's going to happen between now
Listen,
and
I'm
then.
gonna have bougie tales from the regatta in Cleveland.
I can't wait.
I'm gonna be flying amongst the people. You know, I'm gonna have some things to say.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. All right. So as always, we want to say as we end, we love Brooker so much. We are so unhinged. We hope you have the best day, Brooke, and just drink all the drinks and turn over all the tables. We love
Bang
ya.
some tables.
Bang on some tables, ma'am. Love ya.